What do you think about rolling every 2 turns to max the blacklisting value? It honestly is interesting. It's a really interesting consideration. So for those of you guys who don't know, blacklisting is a mechanic where when you do a manual roll, none of the units in your shop you can find in the next pack, in the next drop, which is interesting. It has a few implications. It means that rolling is more or less valuable depending on how many different units you see remaining in your shop before you roll. Some of them might have been taken out because you bought them, or some of them might have been like doubled down. So if we roll right now, we literally don't have the gold to.
I'm basically.
But if we roll right now,
TB isn't good against elves. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true. If we roll right now, basically we won't have the ability to find these 5 units in the next shop, which is interesting. It means that if we saw like 2 anti-mages and 2 ogres instead of a bloodseeker and shaman, and then if we rolled that pack instead, we'd be blacklisting 3 different units from the next shop instead of 5. So like the roll value actually changes based on the shop you see, which is super weird. And honestly, I haven't really incorporated that into my play yet. It's kind of minor, I think, but it could actually make a difference. So what does anti-mage lead to? And how good is the elusive build? Blightstone, right? I kind of wonder about that.
You need a healer.
Maybe it's not Blightstone.
We won't lose.
That's so weird. Is Blightstone, Tranquils, or... What was the third thing? Is it Brooch or something? Oh, Hood. Is Hood really that good? Yoink. See ya! Hood is easily best. Really? It's possible. I mean, a lot of people like Hood right now. I think it's kind of trashy. It's sort of meta dependent. People will like it different amounts based on what they kind of perceive the current meta to be at, I guess. Hood scales really well. Blightstone scales really well. Oh, God. Not picking gloves. I can't pick gloves, right? I have to pick gloves. Of course I'm picking gloves. Duh. Like, it's always gloves. Yeah, it's always gloves. It is always gloves. It's always gloves. It's always gloves. I mean, Arcane Boot's so nice.
I'm basically 1/8 gay. I'm basically 1/8 gay.
Ah. I think it's always gloves. I do think it is. I think Arcane Boots is kind of overrated. At the end of the day, combat items are kind of better. Yo, where's me cash and grab it? Welcome to the 1/8 gay club, guys. Get these people off my build. I wonder how much value. This is something I've talked about before, and people have like joked about it. There is, unironically, like no matter what MMR rating you're at, actually it's probably only for high MMR ratings, there is literal unironic value. And this sounds super stupid, but in putting your comp that you want to go on the board early so that people will press tab and will be like, just if they're not looking at like bench, which most people, even good players, like will miss out on like everyone's bench just because there's so much to take in and so much going on. If they're not pressing tab, if they are pressing tab, it's kind of like it makes it so that they're less likely to basically contest you, which is good for both of you, right? There's an actual very non-zero amount of value in that. Again, it sounds kind of memey. The problem is, like, everyone's on Beast right now. I do think Beast is not necessarily, like, representative of a long-term game plan here. And again, it sounds like such a dumb argument, because in theory, good players, that sort of thing shouldn't matter for good players, but it does, because there's so much going on in this game. And so much of the end game condition is completely dictated by how many people will go your build, even if it's like a small chance of incentivizing someone to like just fuck off your build. Like, there's actual value in that. I can't express that enough. It is actually something that will win you some games. So it's like putting Enchantress on the board early is generating some amount of value in that way. Oh boy. We can do this. So Blightstone is a DPS increase of 16% per attacker on a 5 armor unit, which is, I think 5 armor can be considered, I mean 5 armor is an easy median. It's pretty close to the mean as well. The mean was higher back when warriors were more of a thing. And people splash 3 warriors, but it's just like less common these days. 16% DPS physical increase per attacker, which sometimes, you know, you'll obviously have multiple of, which is cute. You guys are talking about, what did I take Blightstone over? I know I took gloves over arcane boots, but 16% is quite good scaling. I remember I took it over something else that kind of scaled too. Is Furion with Stone Vial? Sure, if I need the Druid pair. Yum. Let's hit this interest point, eh? Dude, guys, we can't all be on Savage. What are you guys doing? This is actually a disaster waiting to happen. And this is where, like, game theory comes into it. Right? Which is, like... And I don't know if the metagame is developed enough for this. I don't know if, like, the average player is, like, scouting enough for this to really be a thing. But, like, it's like a game of chicken, right? Which is, like... Right now, there's not 5 people on Savages. There's 5 people representing Savages. At least one of them, probably about 1.5 on average, is just splashing it for early game and doesn't even really intend to be on it long term. Like, for example, this middle guy and this bottom guy. So let's say there's 3.5 Savages repping in this game. Or something like that. It's like, you know, it's like a game of chicken. It's like... I don't want to stay on Savages if other people aren't staying on Savages, but if I know that they know that it's a game and they're thinking about that too, I can try to kind of like bully them out. Like if I don't get off, they can't get off either. And I know they want to get off. We can still here. The problem is this third guy has Summoning Stone too. So even he's going to be on a little bit. It's weird. Is the Prisoner's Dilemma a similar concept? I guess. I mean, literally every game in game theory is a similar concept to Prisoner's Dilemma, right? What do you mean? You can literally look at any single game in game theory, like Hawk Dove or Tragedy of the Commons, and be like, it's similar to Prisoner's Dilemma. This is like the same thing. They're all the same fucking thing. What do you mean? Like, obviously they're different. They're different games. Yeah, we have to roll here. I want to level before rolling, but I don't want to level yet. Oh, that's weird. I mean, we have to be on 4 beast here. There's no way around that. You're right, though. It's a similar concept to Prisoner's Dilemma, if you're familiar with that, which is just like there's this, you kind of like have to incorporate what your opponent's game plan is into what your game plan is. Hunter starter pack right there. And like I said, I think the meta's not really developed enough to that point, but it'll be really interesting. Like the competitive scene for this game, like tournament level play 6 months from now or something like that. Ugh. Do I have to go Smuggler? I really wonder how good Smuggler actually is. I think it's better than these two right now. I think it's kind of like, not overrated. I'm not like, oh, Smuggler is bad, but it's kind of overrated, yeah. Kind of. Ugh. Rolling before being level 6 really hurts my odds at like a lone druid. The tier 4 odds change drastically from 5 to 6. They go from 2% to 7%. That's like gigantic. I wanted to roll before the fight, but I also wanted to pair the Morphling. I decided to just sell the Morphling. That's a lot of damage. Pre-level here. I could have leveled already. And now there's this thing where, like, you know, I mean, 2.5 people at least are on Savages. That's no good. That's good. Enchantress has to be here. She's more protected against assassins, and her attack range is literally 2 cells, so she actually doesn't have a choice. I take Blightstone over like Vip Booster or something. So Vip Booster is 250 health. Blightstone has to still be better than Claymore. To some of you guys, that statement's gonna sound weird, probably. It's probably kind of around the level of Claymore, but I think it still has to be better. I mean, it turns out armor is just good, and minus armor is just good. It's definitely better than Claymore. I do think it is. I do think it is. Free reroll here. This sucks, dude. I don't know. I mean, I could burn through my interest. I like this interest thing. Hey, I'm good, Cal. Message me on Discord. Blackboard box with Savage makes a lot of sense. Oh, you mean just corner box? Yeah. Claymore is the worst item in the game. It's bad. It's not like... It's not... I don't think it's the worst item in the game. But it's... I think it's overrated garbage, sure. Claymore is the worst in Vip Booster. I think it's worse. Maybe it's better. I need to think about it. I need to revisit that one. It would be surprising if Claymore was better, though. That would surprise me. Because, like, even if I roll, like, what am I even looking for here? I mean, we're on a lot of pairs. Our roll value is really good. The question is it worth like just going down with the ship on this? I mean, loose streaking is vaguely efficient here. Feels like you're bullied out of Savage. Potentially. The thing is, like, it mostly matters for 3 stars, I think, and Lone Druid. I kind of wonder, like, it's hard to say how big of a difference it matters here. I don't know. I mean, Savage isn't that contested. Like, 2 people that are in Savage aren't really in it. They're not just, like, buying out every Savage they see, right? There's only, like, 2.5 people that are actually in Savage, which is a lot. Like, 2.5 is a lot. I just wonder if it's actually worth switching over. Obviously, it's not worth it now. I'm stuck on it now, but at an earlier point, I wonder if it would have been worth it. I think a lot of you would say yes, and I think it might be yes. I don't think it's super clear-cut, though. So at this point, I think we have to fit an additional unit in. This is like a stabilization unit. Help us find Lone Druid on the odds. I think we have to take like the aggressive level 7. Because we need to run another unit. I want my rolls to help me find a Lone Druid. I think it's unironically important. Pivot to Primordials. There was an interesting, like, this is the kind of situation where I could go like 4 Savage, 4 Primordial or something. I should at least be keeping my option open. Is that a thing? Like 4 Savage, 4 Primordials? The thing is, like, I don't know. So I'll think about it like this. Like, the reason you want to not be on what other people are on is because it lowers your odds of getting 3 stars. But, like, if I start building Primordials right now, I'm not getting a fucking 3-star Razor. Like, a 3-star Tiny. That's not happening, right? And it's not just the 3 stars. It's also stuff like Arc Warden and Lone Druid. But at a certain point, it's like I'm kind of doing the same thing that happens. Oh, God. Have to go Octarine here, right? I don't even know what Octarine is good on here. And here's Arc Warden, which I don't know if I have a choice but to buy this. Tanner with a 4-second cooldown just might not even be good. Like, Venomicer's cooldown is too short for Octarine. It doesn't have the mana gain for that. Should be benching this Shadow Fiend. Dawning to dunk all the Enchantresses. That can't be right. I mean, it hurts my own healing too. Dawning has to be a mean choice there, I think. Just Tiny with Arc Warden sounds good. I think it does sound good. I mean, even with something like, you know, some fairly not super good item like Blightstone, I don't mind Arc Wardens on. They attack the same unit, right? Will attempt to attack the same unit. So Blightstone scales additively. Well, not additively exactly. So I should bench the Shadow Fiend in theory. That's a late ass upgrade. Holy shit. Treant's even just better even with Summoning Stun, right? Nature's Prophet is so weak. I think Alchemist is pretty legit.
Am I too cheerful?
So we have the Arc Warden pair.
Keep the team from dying? Definitely.
Arc Warden level 1 better than a Veno level 2. See, like, that just sounds wrong. I could go down from 4 Savage here. Savages are so useless if they don't have 4 of them, though. They really, really are. They're completely garbage if you don't have 4 of them. See, I just don't think I can fit this in right now. Is that crazy? It feels like I have to, but it feels like I can't. It's casual 10 bleed. Good stuff, dude. Uh-oh. Log versus Banana. Banana wins. Dude, it's 3-star Log versus 2-star Banana, and we're fucking good. Did fucking Nature's Prophet. Holy shit. What a fucking unit, dude. Jesus Christ. And all my problems are solved all of a sudden. All at once. So now Venom wants the gloves to the multiplier, and Arc Warden wants the Blightstone. What did we take Blightstone over, and what did we take gloves over? We took gloves over Arcane Boots. And I think on a Venom level 3, I'd rather have gloves than Arcane Boots. I really just do think that's true. And I think now that we have the Arc Warden, the Blightstone also makes sense as well.
This is gonna be a good day.
Blightstone was over Hood. I don't know. Maybe Hood's okay. I think Hood being better than Blightstone is kind of a meme. I honestly do. Could be wrong about that. It's hard to evaluate Hood value. Like, different people, most of the reason people disagree about Hood is because different people have different ideas of, like, how popular, like, certain comps are in the meta. I think Blightstone over Hood is pretty easy. So these two Blightstones, the fact that this is on Arc Warden means each Blightstone is increasing the attack damage of every unit that's attacking it by 18%. That's pretty good. Like, that's really not bad. That's very good, actually. It's also, like, affecting some physical damage, like Tiny's Toss and Walrus Punch, if you're counting that. Like, 18%? Count me in, right? Like, how is that bad? How is that not better than whatever the fuck Hood? I don't even remember what Hood does. It's something ass. That's all I remember. Most of your damage is bleed. Yeah, I 18% physical. And don't get me wrong, this is the kind of comp that doesn't really need additional sources of physical damage, because most of my damage is bleed. But at the same time, I mean, what do I put Hood on that's great? Putting Hood on Enchantress, maybe she doesn't get nuked down or something. I could definitely see arguments for Hood being good, sure. I don't think it's, like, definitive. But it's like there's so many comps where Hood just does almost nothing. Does Blightstone stack? I thought they fixed that. Yeah, so it stacks normally from 5 to 2, which is 1 Blightstone. It's a 16% DPS increase on every attacker, but it scales up because armor swings more at closer to neutral values, which means the second one does about 20%. So like it's an average of 18 per Blightstone per attacker. I need a Lone Druid so badly. I think this is fine to do. He picks Blightstone before going Savage, right? Pretty sure Blight wins in a vacuum always. That sounds right to me. Yeah, and yes, that's a good point as well. I did pick Blight before going Savage. There's situations where, you know, Hood can make more sense, Blight can make more sense. But yeah, the fact that, like, it doesn't really work that much with the bleed makes it a bit worse. But at the same time, that argument applies to the 18% as opposed to the 16% because Arc Warden synergizes with Blightstone. Because it literally increases the damage of Blightstone. Since more Blightstones on the same target does more on average. Skull Basher, right? It's not even a close one. So this is just great on Lycan. Again, not even a hard choice. So now we're in the market for Lone Druid. Give me that sweet Lone Druid. There's the upgrade of the Sentry, and suddenly I'm feeling pretty good about. Ooh, I don't mind if I do. Just one Lone Druid, one time. So suddenly Arc Warden wants the Basher, right? Sorry, buddy. Basher Arc Warden should be nuts. Okay, I need to fix my positioning. I still don't know how to position Arc Warden, guys. You guys are all telling me, like, different ways to position Arc Warden. There's so many different arguments. This positioning is kind of a meme when there's, like, 8 players left in the game, because it doesn't summon if this exactly happens. Put Arc in the back corner. I think that makes sense, honestly. I think in the back corner probably makes the most sense. I like this Arc Warden splash here. Arc Warden teeny splash. And we're even on 16s. That's good. That's, you know, good pacing, timing, whatever. Oh yeah. Wow. That's just crazy. Not even close. Not a chance. Again, I think that's also not even close. Alchemist 1 could be better than Tiny 2. That's gotta be a hot take, right? It's at least a warm take. I disagree with Frontliner Gordon. Yeah, you could be right. The fact that they attack the same target does kind of make it bad for Basher, though. That's interesting. But it's still, I'm still doubling Basher. Like, it's really dumb to think about not having Basher on Arc Warden. That's just a dumb idea. Sweet, sweet Bashes. Fucking carried. Holy shit. This carried me so much. It's ridiculous. Did you guys see those Bashes? Third Warrior. I can see Third Warrior here. Fin 03 in current year. Yeah, dude. So I might have changed this coin here, I think, right? Could have just sold the Disruptor like a normal human being. I think I like Alchemist over Disruptor. Actually, maybe that's really dumb. Wait, why am I going Alchemist over Disruptor? Is there something wrong with me? Dude, I could go 3 Shamans. Wait, why am I going Alchemist over Disruptor? Yeah, definitely something wrong with me. Okay, reevaluate.
I'm basically 1/8 gay.
Yo, Rust in Peace. Welcome to the 1/8 gay club. You should buy every 5-cost unit and resell it for the achievement, though. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I honestly haven't even looked at the achievement page, but I guess there's something for like buying 5-cost units. Okay, is there any other like easy way to min-max achievements? I think at this point, I feel like I can't be in 6 Savage, right? As much as I like would kind of like to be, I think 6 Savage is simply not happening here. There's the Alchemist. Oh well. Dude, this sucks. Why did you make that Alch? I mean, at the point in time, like, I'd like to have Disruptor over Alch, but I think the second Warlock is nice. I think a level 2 Alch, I mean, while I have it, is good. In an ideal world, I'd be running a Disruptor 2 over an Alchemist 2 right now, but I still feel like I need something. An Alchemist, even though he's mostly a DPS unit, is still a frontline. Don't be fooled by his chunky body. Acid Spray does mad damage. It's like more damage than Shadow Fiend. I don't know. I mean, I can like double dip on Arc Wardens here. I need to like go to 9. It's so late to be in 6 Savage, right? It's just so late. I want to be in like more Arc Wardens, I think. Looking like a solid 5th or 6th place. Really? I mean, it might be. I feel like if I play the rest of the game well, I've got pretty good stabilization opportunities. That might not happen. Could mess up. I think it's too late for Disruptor here, though, as much as I'd like it. Feels kind of hard to actually get there. Changes is not happening. Lycan's kind of low odds, honestly. Plus attack damage. It's just Relic, right? If we don't complete the second Arc Warden, this might not have been worth it. I think the second Tiny is actually better. That's so sad. See how this goes. Relic 60 versus Battle Fury 70 attack. Guys, Relic has been a better item than Battle Fury for weeks. It's possible Battle Fury in this situation could have been better. The thing is, I don't think this Lycan's going to level 3. And if it is, it's not going to be anytime soon. Obviously, when I say better, that doesn't mean you never pick Battle Fury. There's definitely circumstances where you do pick Battle Fury. It's possible this is one of them. I personally don't know how likely that is. Could have been. After those rolls, I have to cool. Level 3 Arc Warden, I think, is strictly not happening. And honestly, I don't even think it improves this board. Is 2 Arc Wardens better than 1 3-star Arc? It depends if you need to be able to consolidate the slot. And in this case, I kind of don't. Sinking over Enchantress. Yeah, that has to be right at this point. Like, the level 1 stun just gets so much further. The problem is, like, Arc Wardens and Savages don't even work that well together. Just because Arc Wardens provide DPS and Savages don't need DPS. That's like the last thing they need. Let's see. I mean, we got kind of blocked at a Lone Druid. Blocking is really real. Missed. Oh, wait, it missed the interest rate because we sold the Arc. Yeah, we could totally get 5th or 6th place here, I guess. I mean, this Lycan is basically not happening at this point. Yeah, I think we got a little too blocked. Octarine on sinking is pretty sweet. I don't know. So Tiny having this like 16% DPS increase on every attacker, it's just a big deal. In this case, it's even more because it's on Lone Druid. It's obviously like, at this point in the game, it's not on average going to be affecting the outcome of the fight, but tier 1 items kind of don't affect fights at this point in the game on average. I think I sell this Arc Warden. I think a Lone Druid is still an upgrade to this board, honestly. I guess we can't fit it in, never mind. Man. Yeah, I messed up this game. I should have put sinking in over Enchantress quite a bit sooner, for sure. Not even on outs here. It's left corner, right corner. So there's more people on the right. From the right, we're going to want tankers there. Venomancer needs to be a bit closer up for like immediate attacks. I think Arc Warden just wants the clones in front, so he does want to be like back here. Sinking wants to be targeted by everything, so he wants to be over here. Alchemist wants to be targeted by most things. We can do something like this. There's 2 attackers on the right and 1 from the left. The most important thing is Sinking is centralized towards the right side to increase the odds as much as possible of it having at least 1 attacker. That being said, people are boxed in the corner, so I guess it's teleporting either way. Check out the DPS metrics here. The Arc Wardens are basically insane. Clones have even more attack speed than the base. The clones are literally stronger than the base. That's pretty good. By the way, do we know if the Phantom boards are weaker than the normal boards? They're the same, right? Or is there some theory or proven? Has it been confirmed in any way? Phantom boards should be the same strength. I don't think they're weaker. I also think trying to upgrade the Arc Warden is a stone cold trap here, right? I'm pretty sure this board cannot coexist with an upgraded Arc Warden. Like, upgrading it is something you do when you have something big to put in. Like a 2-star something. We have nothing to put in, so we can't play for the upgrade. So we have to sell for interest. It's just consolidation. Pretty sure it's the same. They seem weaker. I do think it's... I think it's the same, but it's possible it's weaker. How would they be weaker? I don't know. People were saying in auto chess. I don't know if this is true, but I just remember some people saying in auto chess that the phantom boards were weaker. In some way. It's like they intentionally scale down the phantom boards to make them like a tiny bit weaker. In TFT, they do that? Wait, are they weaker in TFT? The phantoms don't have synergies? Wait, what? That seems kind of dumb. That honestly does seem kind of dumb. I think I like Daedalus here. The ability to improve one of my Arc Wardens with a better item is sweet. Alchemist is a good carrier here. I mean, at this point, what are we doing with our money? It's like literally nothing, right? One savage for another. At this point, the most important thing is to just focus on positioning. So we have like left box, kind of left centered and right skewed. So we want to flip to the other side effectively. Tiny wants to be hitting kind of like the most things possible. This seems like a better swap. Tiny just wants to be front and center. He's like level 3. Okay, Tiny, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm making this so easy for you. Are you seeing this shit? I'm gonna lose to this. Look at it, like, okay, we won, but like, dude, I almost just fucking lost to that. Ugh. God damn, dude. That just gave me a headache. Holy shit. What are we rolling down here for? Give him Google Maps? I don't know. I feel pretty trapped. This feels bad. I like this positioning though. Enigma and Disruptor. Yeah, I guess we could have... Oops. Wait, what the hell? We could have gone for like the 3 Shamans. I honestly wonder how good 3 Shamans is. It's 17% chance for a 2-second disarm. Sable. I mean, honestly, that is kind of good, right? I think a better improvement to this board is actually going to 10. Like a 3rd warrior feels like it does quite a decent amount. Oh yeah, that's fucking easy. Woo! Left and center. I need the toss to come up. Left and centered both ways. Anti-mage on this. This one less swap. One less swap. And we're good. We want the anti-mage off of our big rock monster. This looks good. This guy's got 3 stars out the ass. We need a stun on this PA. Uh-oh. Ah, this could be it. Well, guys, we had a good run. If our Phantom board beats this guy first, we get an easy 2nd place. PP hands. Ah, dude, we won, right? We won on his board. We just won too slowly. Oh, no, we didn't win. Sorry, I got confused. It was a weird visual. Yeah, that was rough. That PA just jumped in and crit. Can we outposition that? If we position for the assassin player, I feel like we just kind of get owned by the other. 3rd's not terrible. Should have cornered. Really? Yeah, I can see that. I can see cornering here. It's like 50-50 assassin board. Yeah, I think cornering was correct. You could have gotten Troll Warlord on board instead of second Lycan. No need to level. Right. I mean, I was leveling for the second Lycan. What do you mean? I can roll for the Lycan upgrade instead. That might be better. This guy's got a 3-star Lycan. I think that's a bad idea. Pretty sure leveling for the second Lycan is the only way to upgrade my board efficiently. Like, my roll value is incredibly low there. This is why it's like, it's really important to understand the concept of roll value. It's like situational rolling. Sometimes rolling is like 10 times as valuable as rolling in other situations. We're 3 away from a Lycan 3-star. This guy's blocking us on the Lycan 3-star. And a Lycan 3-star isn't that much better than 2 Lycan 2-stars anyway. Especially when we're like representing the Savage buff and wanting to be able to run 6 units instead of 3 on the 2 Lycans, creating the clones. So yeah, no, it's definitely the level there. It's unfortunate it didn't help enough though. Okay. We're kind of like slowly climbing. Let's check out these achievements. XP claim. Oh yeah. So
I'm basically 1/8
win 10
gay.
rounds with
Thanks
4 or
for the
more
great
global
stream.
items.
Missed you on your trip, but luckily my doctor put me in
4
a
or more
medically induced
global
coma,
items?
so I was able to survive until you returned.
Did they like, was this designed before the change? Because like, this is hard to do.